guys, thanks for stopping back at the Cranberry Cornstalk YouTube channel. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel. You can also click the bell for future notifications and click like and share, please, for me. It helps support my channel. Today, as promised, I'm going to be showing you how I made resin necklace pendants. I made gold and silver ones shown here. The picture doesn't do justice. They're really sparkly and I was in love with them. I used some artistic wire, whatever you have on hand. It's gold, and you'll need something to size them. A mandrel is what I have, gold beads or gems that you would like to put on your pendant, and some glitter. Of course, everything I make seems to have glitter in it, some kind of sparkle. Cut your whatever wire that you have, gold or silver, cut it about 6 inches long, and you're going to wrap it around. If you want to make a teardrop shape like I did, I wrapped it around the mandrel and left a space at the top, twisted it, and made myself a little crook there in the top so the wire doesn't come undone. I left one side to make a loop and the other sides to make the design. You're just going to twist it around and make sure it's as flat as possible. You'll see when you pour the resin in, the most important thing is to keep the wire really flat and flush. The first thing I did was I put a pearl on this one. You can put a gem, whatever you have with a hole in it that you want to place on your pendant is fine, and just twist the wire around on the first side to make it a design to your liking. Whatever you like. I like the curly cues and the little feminine circles. You can put that on yours and use the other side. Just bend it around. I use some round nose pliers. Bend it around to make yourself a little eye on the top of your pendant so that you can hang your jewelry. You can also do one of those little links that they use in jewelry, but I didn't do that this time. And I know a lot of you who do jewelry are just rolling your eyes. Please leave me comments in the comment section. Let me know what I should have done differently, what I could have done better, and I would really appreciate it. I mean, this is only my second try. There's the silver wire that I wanted to show you I had, and there's some beads that would be appropriate to use with the silver wire. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your pendants and you're going to lay them on some tape, sticky side up. You're going to put them on the tape because that's going to be the back to where you pour your resin. Now, I did make a mistake here. I used duct tape, which is clear. It was way too strong, and what happened was when I tried to pull the pendants back off, I ended up bending my wire. Mistake on my part, but I learned. So use a cheaper tape, something that doesn't hold extremely tight to your product, because you don't want it to bend your wire when you go to pull it off, but you do want it to be sticky enough that your wire does stick to the tape. But just do that. I took strips of tape and put the pendants on each one, as many as you want to make, and continued to constantly press the wires down onto the tape on a flat surface. I started using a tray. I started putting everything on a tray because I wanted to be able to move it off of my countertop. That was another mistake I made. The tray was not really level. It actually had an arch to it, and it really wreaked havoc on my resin when I tried to pour it. So I did end up moving them to a cookie sheet whenever I was done with this, but that didn't work either. There were just too many bumps and heaves in the pan. It wasn't perfectly level. I would suggest, if you can, put them directly onto a countertop somewhere. If you can leave them, it does take a while for it to dry. Mine took at least 24 hours. It can go longer than that. They were still a little bit tacky, but this is how I got started. Each wire I put down on the tape, and make sure you pull your pretty designs up off of the wire, because if you don't, when you pour the resin, they will stick inside the resin. Again, I just continue to work on the pieces. There's the duct tape. Do not use duct tape unless you have a stronger wire than what I had. I ended up using, I believe it's an 18 gauge gold wire. So if you have something stronger than that will bend, more power to you. I found it to be a real problematic while I was making the jewelry. Okay, so the next step is the resin. This is what I have. I got it online. They're all different. There's 1 part resin and 1 part hardener, and it gives you instructions for each product as to how to mix and measure them. This one was a 1-to-1, so whatever I mixed, I'd equal to it, and I'd put my measurements on my cup ahead of time. Now, it does say to wear gloves. I did not wear gloves, and it does say I did use the gloves the first time I used it, and it does burn if you get it on your hand, so I don't know what it did to my hand, but I didn't take the time to do it this time, and it will ruin your cabinet, so that was dumb of me to pour onto my countertops, but I already did it. So just pour equal parts for this type of resin and hardener together in a cup. You can put your measurements on the side of the cup like I did, or a lot of people do it in 2 separate cups and then put it together. But it's really important, the ratio that you get for the resin and the hardener has to be exact. If you don't, your resin will not harden. It's kind of a no give or take situation. You have to do it that way. And then you stir and you stir and you stir. Mine called for stirring a constant 2 minutes, making sure you catch everything off the sides and on the bottom, or else you will have that small amount of ratio, just enough to ruin your pendant. So I did stir for 2 complete minutes. Here you can see on the other side of the tray the silver ones that I did first, and you can see there's a little bit of a dip in the resin, because I found that if you go back and pour a little bit at a time and do like 3 different pouring sessions, which would take almost a week, it does work better, because if you put too much in there and it overflows, you have all that resin that you have to trim off, and it does make a mess. So my advice to you is do a little bit each time and just try to be patient through the week as you wait the days out to pour the new layer of resin on to your pendant. I wanted to add some scripture pieces, so I printed out some scripture that I pulled offline and I put them in the pendant because I wanted the way, that it looks. But I think the next time I do this, I'm going to try wetting the paper, because it was absolutely stiff and it kept pushing the resin out of the pendant, which just ruined everything I was trying to do. But I just wanted the bottom half to be some scripture verses that I liked, and the top half I was going to make something sparkly like the silver ones you see over there. But I did learn, cut your pieces out ahead of time and maybe have them wet instead of so hard and stiff, or if you maybe have some kind of tissue type paper with scripture on. Of course I didn't want to cut up a Bible, but that's how I did it. So whatever type of thing that you want in the bottom of it, you can even use dried flowers. I've seen little dried flowers done, and anything you want to put in there is really cute. But you want to put a little bit of a layer of resin down first, and then your project that you want to be seen, and then you end up putting another layer of resin on top of, like for me it was the Bible verse. The next thing I did was I found out that I didn't have any glitter. I was so frustrated because I thought I had silver and gold glitter. Turns out I don't have any gold glitter. Shocker, I know. But I found some ribbon, and so I cut some ribbon that I had left over from Christmas onto the pendant thinking it may work, and it actually turned out really cute. I was very happy with it. When you put it inside the resin, you cannot even tell that it's a ribbon. It ends up actually just looking like sparkly glitter all over the necklace. I loved it. So if you don't have glitter, don't go buy any. You can always go and pull out some ribbon. Mine was wire on the side, wired ribbon, so I just cut the center part out, and I used it instead of glitter like for the silver ones. I used it for the top of each of the pendants. I started out cutting little pieces to make them, to fit them in the top of the pendant, but the pieces would fall all over the tape and get stuck. So I got a little smarter and I trimmed the ribbon onto the counter on a little pile and then put it in that way. That way it wasn't sticking to the tape every time I tried to put a piece in there. But I just put them in like a little puzzle, and they really turned out cute. I'm really happy with them. You can put them together however you want. I found a chain with some magnetic clasps that I added. I just added some chain links and I found the magnetic clasps online. I'm sure some of the craft stores, once they open back up, will have them on. But this is how the silver one looks. It turned out really cute. I'm so happy with it. I made a whole bunch to give away, and there's the silver and the gold again together. Thanks for stopping back at the Cranberry Cornstalk channel. Remember to subscribe and like my channel, and hope to see you again on the next one. If you have any comments, please leave me some comments. I love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time on the Cranberry Cornstalk YouTube channel.